Delays in the processing of travellers. Traffic was again backed up for hours at the border post as holiday makers returned home after the Easter long weekend. Travellers are required to produce COVID-19 negative certificates or tests at the border before entering South Africa. The M4 toll road towards Gauteng is one of the busiest roads in Mpumalanga.
At the Nkomazi toll plaza, it was bumper-to-bumper traffic, vehicles stretching for kilometers. Many holiday makers returning from the Easter break, heading to different destinations including Gauteng. At the Lebombo border post, traffic at a standstill on the Mozambican side. Many have been stuck here for hours after crossing into South Africa, a COVID-19 test.
The traffic is too much, but it's flowing, South African places, at least they are really assisting us, Everything is fast. They have like a few testing stations, but I wish they can review the issue of the testing because the one that caused more traffic, I wish they can review it.
The traffic is bad on the other side. So we felt that we're not going to reach our destination proper, but we are going back to SA side, to Pretoria.
Traffic is coming slowly because we have to test them.
Authorities are on high alert. They are leaving nothing to chance. Illegal activities are being clamped down on, and adherence to COVID-19 regulations a must.
Now, since the start of this Easter holidays, we have about 360 people that have been arrested, illegal immigrants. And we have seized about counterfeits of about 2.5 million. And 3 people were arrested, trying to cross very expensive vehicles to another country.
13 people have died on the province's road since Good Friday. Dumela Machogo, SABC News in Mpumalanga.
The cumulative COVID-19 cases in Latin America have exceeded 25.5 million today. Confirmed cases in Brazil total almost 13 million, while intensive care units at hospitals in Chile are almost full to capacity. The SABC News Mary Mena joins us now from Caracas, Venezuela. A very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us. So let's start with Brazil. It's been called the super spreader in Latin America. What is happening there at the moment, Mary?
Well, March was the deadliest month for Brazil, and April it could be worse according to experts in the area. They believe that the approach that President Bolsonaro has related to the virus has been completely wrong, and they are urging President Bolsonaro to change the conditions. We have to remember that Brazil remains, since the beginning of the pandemic last year, as the second in the world, with right now more than 3 million cases, and last week surpassed 300,000 deaths. The death toll is increasingly high and it's getting bigger with the day. 15 out of 26 states in Brazil are reporting almost full capacity in ICUs. And what the community of the medical community in Brazil is demanding is that the government must make some changes in order to stop the spread of the virus that is not only right now affecting Brazil, also is affecting their close neighbors with the appearance of a new variant that it can be spread more faster than the coronavirus itself.
And speaking about Brazil's neighbors, it's no small number, about 10. How are they responding to the Brazil COVID-19 crisis?
Well, they are looking carefully what is going on in Brazil, and they are taking measures because in countries like Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, that are close neighbors to Brazil, the numbers are also increasing. The numbers of people who has the virus and also the people dying from the virus. So what they are doing is coming back to severe lockdowns, closing borders. For example, Peru decided to close its borders. Also, Chile decided to close its borders recently. And they are arguing that the variant is affecting the handling of their local crisis with the virus. What they are doing is to remain at home as much as possible and to leave only open essential businesses. They are moving like the way they began with the pandemic last year and taking more severe measures.
Okay. Chile itself, it's the third country in the world with the highest percentage of vaccinated population, but they seem to have returned to quarantine and face a worsening health crisis. Why is that?
Yes, indeed, Brazil has inoculated 7 million people. That is around 45% of its entire population. But the medical community is also saying that there was an overconfidence from the government that decided, once the vaccination campaign began, they decided to open up the economy and lift some restrictions. And what they are saying is that the people believe that the vaccine is like a solution for the whole problem. And the numbers are not pointing out that. The numbers are saying that despite a large numbers of the people are being inoculated, the crisis continues in Chile and in other places. Brazil, for example, has inoculated around 8.4% of its population, and it is quite low considering the amount of cases that they have.
Now, President Nicolas Maduro of Venezuela has blamed Jair Bolsonaro of Brazil for the current increase in the number of cases in Venezuela. What has he said about that?
Well, the Venezuelan president is also, as I said, taking measures to start new severe quarantine in the country. We started with a severe quarantine 3 weeks ago, and it's still on place. He says that he's blaming entirely Jair Bolsonaro. He says the Brazilian president is reckless, and he says the Brazilian variant, it must be called the Bolsonaro mutation. He says he's entirely to blame for the crisis because he's not taking in consideration the problem, the health crisis. He's taking in consideration the economy. And the Brazilian president says he's taking measures, but actually he's not doing a severe quarantine. In Brazil, essentials business remain open. They are asking people to stay at home, but the crisis continues. One time, even Venezuela sent oxygen to Brazil, to the Amazon region when they need it, because they ran out of oxygen.
Thank you. Mary Mena, my colleague out there in Caracas in Venezuela. It's time now for sports with Simon.